This is our garden, which has been neglected and overgrown over the years. My name is Orion, this is Jess and Benji, and Lilia is now 3 months old. As a family, we have never had a garden, and we are super excited to restore and bring it back to its former glory. And if you hadn't guessed already, we've never done this before. So if you want to follow along as we transform this garden, then make sure you hit subscribe to watch new videos every single Wednesday and Sunday as we embark on a brand new journey. Today, the sun is shining, the skies are blue, and our plan is to get this flower bed completely weed free. That means ripping all of this out, getting rid of these massive stumps, and revealing what has actually started to come through already now that it's spring. Because a week ago, they weren't there, that wasn't there, and these hadn't started to come through either. I have received an overwhelming amount of feedback about completely ripping this out, and whilst I personally would like to do that because I have no idea what's in here, I just want a fresh bed with nice flowers in it. A lot of people have said that there might be plants in there that just haven't come through just yet. So I'm sticking to my guns and getting rid of things that I do know need to go, as well as trimming back some of this ivy. Now, I'm not going to completely take it off of the house, even though I know a lot of people have said to do that. I'm a bit afraid of ripping it out. So what I'm going to do is find the stems and cut them short, so everything from like this part upwards dies. At least that's my plan. If I cut off here and this part dies, then it should come off the roof a little bit easier. However, there's no place like this to learn and find out for myself, so that's the plan here. Then it's a case of just taming this bush back so it's against the wall, as well as this one here, because you can't even see the handrail anymore. Only then, once we have sorted this entire bed out, can we start planting things. Hopefully we can also put Jess's planter to use as well. But before we get to that part of the video, let's begin clearing out.
I don't mind if they're talking about it. I know I'll find my way around it. 'Cause I know just like the weather, things are gonna change. And I'm tired of saying sorry in so many ways. That I know I'll find my way around it. But I keep on waiting. I just keep on waiting for nothing. I just keep on waiting. I just keep on waiting. 'Cause I could wake up with a broken heart. I could wait until it falls apart. It doesn't matter how hard I try. There's a mountain I got to climb. 'Cause I could wake up on the other side. I could wake up feeling so alive. In the morning when I see the light, I could say that this is my life, my life.
Well, that took me so much longer than I ever anticipated, but I have finished. However, don't shoot me, I couldn't save nearly as much as I wanted to. As I discovered whilst doing this, that I had quite a lot of invasive plants and weeds and stuff in there, and it became a lot easier, and for time constraints and stuff like that, to just turn the soil. So I have been through and I have turned the entire bed and tried to save anything that had a bulb attached to it. A lot of emphasis on the word try, because I have planted these back in. I need to water them and stuff like that, and hopefully they take. But my theory is if I take a plant from over there and I just put it over here, like trying to save as much of the roots as possible, it should grow here just like it did over there. However, since I've put them in, they look well, they look a little dire, to be honest. A little bit windswept, we'll say. Also on the casualty list is the lavender bush that I had right here. When I tried to move the branches out of the way, as you'll see with that bush over there, they snapped and the whole thing just kind of fell apart and crumbled as I was trying to tidy this area up. So it's gone. This bush has been trimmed back to a third. I got told that that was fine. And in the past, it's actually already been trimmed to a third and it was growing just fine. Overall, great success. I did hit a couple of snags along the way. These two sticks are the remains of a rake that I was using, a really nice rake actually. I like that rake a lot, but it snapped and hit me in the face. So for a while I've been sporting this really big bruise underneath my chin here as it just whacked me right here. It really hurt, but unfortunately I lost a rake. These are the size of the roots that I was contesting with, and this one in particular ran all the way down the flower bed. It was so difficult to get rid of what I'm just calling this barbed wire bush. By far, the two biggest challenges with doing this bed was the bush as well as nettles. I didn't realize that nettles roots are like, it's like matted hair and it just coats the entire flower bed, and it was really difficult to clear that out. Right towards the end, however, I found this, which was incredibly handy for digging it all out. Definitely helped with my stinging nettle problem. And talking about stings, and this is such a segue, but whilst I was like weeding this area, I actually unearthed an earth cable, like a very large cable. I thought it was a root. And as I literally plunged my my shovel into the dirt, I got this like resistance back straight away. I was like, I wonder what that is. So I fished around with my gloves on and I was like trying to yank at it. And as I took the dirt off it, I could tell instantly that it was an earth cable, as this is a power line. I should have really thought about that. I never considered that there'd be an earth wire just in the bed there. So I've covered it up with rocks for now, as I figured it would be super dangerous. So I've bedded it back into the soil as far as it can go, and then covered it up with lots of stones and like leftover like slabs and stuff from the wall that I actually have in the paddock. So yeah, this area has now got like a little wall dividing it. It looks okay. It's not the best, but it stops us from digging there and accidentally getting an earth cable. Not entirely sure if it would do anything, but to me, common sense says that an earth cable or any kind of cable connected to main power could be dangerous. So I tried to cover up that the best I could. All of that stuff aside, I am actually super happy that I have now got a completely turned flower bed. And after a lot of thought and discussion and the amount of time I put into it, literally 4 days it's taken me to just tackle this flower bed. It's been hard graft. I've bruised my palms. I am in agony and my body's aching. I have decided that this is going to become the subscriber flower bed. Hopefully these ones retake, but over on my Patreon, I have actually got a tier where if you subscribe to that tier, I will buy a plant and I will plant it for you and name it for you and stuff like that. And we get to see how you progress. So later on in this video, I will be planting the first 2 subscribers that I got on for that specific tier. So if you want to be someone who supports me on Patreon, I really do appreciate it. The guys over at Patreon help me do things like this. They help me buy tools and they just take that extra little bit of support. It might be £5, it might be £10, £15, however much that people are willing to support me over on there. There are like bonuses, by the way, to being on that platform. Like the videos get released early because sometimes, like I record these videos sometimes 2 weeks in advance, and if the video is done and ready, I will throw it up onto Patreon first and it will just go live sometime randomly throughout the week, and then later on it goes onto YouTube. So if you want an ad-free experience and videos first, as well as progress reports on all this kind of stuff, then Patreon is the place to be. However, whilst I've been tackling this flower bed, Jess is in the garden doing hers. And apparently you guys really love her little segment. So let's jump over to Jess's point of view and see what she's been up to.
Last time in the vlog, you saw me build this planter out of some scrap pallets. We recently went and got some flowers, so we need to get this all finished. One of the things I need to do is put some drainage holes in there because there was a lot of comments about drainage in the planter. And then I also mentioned last time about lining it with some of these bags. They're like a plasticky material. They're quite similar to the weed barrier material that you can get in the shop. So I'm going to use that because we're trying to keep this cost quite low and just use what we've got. It is apparently better to use something called liquid DPM to line it. But as I say, this is all experimental. We're trying to keep the cost low. So we're using that bag to line it. If it does fail down the line, we've learned a lesson and we'll use it next time. So as I say, we're just going to do that. Then I'm going to sand it down because I keep getting splinters. We're going to fill it with a bag of compost and a mixture of soil that we've got spare from the bed that Orion's been emptying. And then once we've done that, we can plant some flowers.
I don't mean to alarm you.
So this is where we ended up putting the planter, right here. The reason for that is because we're going to probably make another one and put it on this side, so we have two nice planters, symmetry and all that. My only concern is it's definitely going to get weeds. One of the reasons is because I scrapped using this material. It frayed everywhere, it was incredibly difficult to work with, and then I just thought, well, how's it going to drain? And I just scrapped it and I carried on as normal. Another reason is because I did use some soil which came from the beds that Orion is weeding, and they definitely have weeds inside them, so they're definitely going to come up. However, the planter has filled up nicely. We used a whole bag of compost, and this is the compost that we use. We just got it from B&Q. Not sure if it's a good compost, but that is the one. I mostly got this one because it says it's child friendly. So this is how we're going to lay them out in the planter. The reason for this is we actually just spoke to Mandy, which is Orion's auntie, and she is a landscaper and knows all about plants. So we've gone for this one on the edge because it sort of grows over. Same with this one and this one. They sort of grow over and dangle a little bit. This one's a bit more upright, so he's going to go in the middle, and then this one's more of a bush type one, so they're going to go at the back. All I'm going to do now is depot them, put them in the planter, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. And that's them all planted. So I've put the labels next to them so we know what's what, and I've given them a water, so let's see how they come along.
Well, I think they turned out great overall. I've had to equip the microphone because it is currently like gale force winds out here. But whilst we were out picking up these beautiful flowers, I also grabbed a couple for the Patreon supporters. So a big thank you to both Adam and Alistair for going that extra mile. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you like the flowers that we picked for you. All right, I believe the correct way to do this is to take them out of their pots. Oh, they literally just fall out like that. I don't know if I need to spread the roots out at all, like just break it up at the bottom a little bit, but because the soil is so dry, when I dig my hole out here, man, the sheer amount of weeds and roots still in here is slightly concerning, but we should be okay. Probably gonna have to come back and weed this again in the future. But before we actually put the plant in, I need to make it a bit wet in there. I hope that's not too much. So we'll put some dirt back in there and then push our soil back in. And hopefully keep this nice and watered. It should take. And there we have it. Where should we put you? In front, this there. I'll put it here. There's Adam, all planted. Oh, bollocks. Alistair, don't know where your name tag's gone. I would love to say that I found your name tag, but I didn't. Wrote a new one. Honestly, I love that. That's fantastic. And actually, I've got another good idea. I'm also going to add a random purchaser of my OW merch. So shout out to Kira. Thank you very much for supporting the clothing line. I think every time I do a gardening video, I'm going to find someone at random who has purchased the merch and supporting the clothing line and add you to the garden. The subscriber garden. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for supporting. I genuinely can't wait to see this completely filled up. Oddly enough, it kind of takes me back to like my gaming Minecraft days when I used to create little signposts in my world and put people's names on it from the chat or people who watch the videos. I might pick random commenters as well. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So make sure you're interacting. And if you go that extra mile to support me on like merch, Patreon, or all these things, and I really do appreciate it. I know I've said thank you enough, but you guys are so generous to me. Honestly, I can't believe the support half the time. It's unfathomable. I can't say that word. I appreciate you. The last thing I'm going to do is cut out some of the roots around here, and I'm going to take out a good, like, I don't know, 6 to 10 inches. However, I did try to film that and you couldn't see anything. It's quite hard to actually get in there anyway, so I will give you a progress report as the year goes on to see if this dies away and it'll just fall off. Hopefully it'll turn to brown. It'll be really easy to take off. And I am going to trim this back eventually once the dirt and the stuff is settled. I'm quite happy with the fact that I've just nearly witnessed a car crash. But as I have spent so long clearing all of this out, the last thing I want to do is trim this and make more mess. So I think on that note, guys, I am going to wrap up today's vlog. It has been one of the more, I don't want to say grueling tasks. I do quite enjoy like the before and afters of doing this kind of stuff. Like it's crazy to think what it actually looked like when I first began clearing this out and how it is now. My neighbour was actually really nice to trim up the edge of the grass here as well and lend us a lawnmower to do the garden. So overall, the front of the house is looking really nice. Once this is all trimmed back, this has come off the house and I've got more flowers in here, it's gonna look lovely. But yes guys, I am gonna wrap up today's video. So thank you very much for watching. If you do want to grab yourself some of the Orion Whittle merch, and you go to orionwhittle.com and pick yourself some stuff up. I'm going to be creating or launching a new drop very soon. I'm close to getting it finished, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll probably share it when it all goes live. If you're new around here and you want to hit subscribe, then I really do appreciate that. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. I'm getting worse and worse at my outros, I swear. I've made so many blunders in today's vlog. But anyways, guys, it's been Orion. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, peace, much love. Bye-bye. Definitely helped with my my problem with the...
Sorry, a tractor just pulled up, so I might record that again.
There is now just a name tag missing in the soil. Only I would be capable of doing something so stupid.